Greetings, friends. As I ponder this week's readings, which are very beautiful, especially the Old Testament reading about how the Messiah is going to come and just create paradise around him and the whole world. I mean, that's something to look forward to, right? Yeah. John the Baptist is wondering in the gospel whether Jesus is the Christ. He sends his disciples to ask Jesus. Jesus says, "Go and tell John what you see." All these healings are going on around Jesus, which authenticates him being the Messiah and a fulfillment of the old prophecies. And so I'm struck also with the epistle reading today, where the apostle tells his people to be patient for the coming of the Lord. And that's interesting, isn't it? Think of all the things that you may be impatient about, right? People. There's so many people impatient with me. See, the problem with me is I got this really slow computer in here, you know what I mean? And so people ask me questions, and especially people think really fast, like my wife, okay? And of course, when you got a fast brain, you expect everybody to come out with fast answers, right? And I'm going, duh, you know. And so I have to wait, okay, to come up with something to say. And it takes a lot of patience to be around me, okay? So we're impatient with people. What impatient about things that we're hoping that will happen, events or whatever. When you think about it, I mean, if we're sick, we're impatient. We want to get done with the sickness. I mean, think about all the things in this world that we're impatient about. Right? I've yet to find somebody impatient for the coming of the Lord. Right? Think about it. Yeah. Well, why would that be? You know, when I'm thinking about it, and it's I think that we're all looking to find our paradise here. I think so, right? And so we get impatient with the things of this world because they don't give us what we want, even when we get it. And so it's kind of like eating with a bottomless stomach, okay? You're always hungry, you're always eating, but you're never getting filled, right? And so we've got to think about this, don't we? What are we impatient about? And behind all this stuff is a deep belief that this world is our home. We might say heaven's our home, but it's not, right? And so when we are feeding on these things of the world, and we see other people having all that they have, we become envious of them, right? Why are we envious of people? It's because we think that they're experiencing paradise here, and we're not, right? It's not so much what people have, but our perception that they are truly fulfilled and happy, but they're not. So we have to reorient ourselves, and that's what Advent's all about. Okay, we're shifting on this Sunday, Gaudete Sunday, which is rejoice, pink, not pink, but rose candle, right? And um, it's a shift to rejoicing, okay? And we can't rejoice if we're just impatient about worldly things. It'd be great if we were impatient for heaven, so and paradise. But what are we to look forward to? That's what I like to focus on. And there's so much focus on the readings on healing, right? And so many of us, as we get older, the healing is about the biggest thing on our mind. My wife and I call them organ recitals when old people get around and talk about their problems, right? But, we should really be very, what should we say? We need to really see things as they are. Just think, in heaven, in paradise, there's no sin. Think about it. No pride, no arrogant looks, no look at me syndrome, no, it's all about me. All these things in pride that torment us if we really think about it. I mentioned envy before. Greed, lust, acedia, which is just being very slothful about spiritual things. Our suffering here in this world is not so much physical with the aches and pains that we have. Spiritual. The burden that we carry is sin. And, we hardly ever acknowledge that fact because we're so focused on the physical. So, just think what we have before us. A life without sin, without that burden of sin. Let that sink in. And the wages of sin is death. No more death. And then, of course, our physical bodies would be perfect. Eternal. They don't grow old. In heaven, there'll be true organ recitals of beautiful music. That's what Advent's about, looking forward to the King. Right? Well, see you this weekend at Mass and think about these things. God bless.